Hello, welcome to another episode of Microsoft Fabric product team interviews. This time we have the pleasure to be with Yitzhak Kesselman from Microsoft Fabric team focusing on real-time intelligence. Hi, Yitzhak, how are you?
Hey Reza, thanks for having me. I'm good. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for your time. We really appreciate your time. We know that you have a really busy schedule, so thank you for accommodating this for us. Before we talk about real-time intelligence and Microsoft Fabric, the areas that you are working with, can you please introduce yourself to our audience, who you are, what is your role in Microsoft Fabric team, which area of the product you are leading, please?
Yeah, of course, Reza. So I've been with Microsoft for more than 10 years. I've been working with data for more than 25 years. Different kinds of data, from data on the edge, doing signal processing, to Power BI, leading the Power BI service platform and Power BI mobile apps. And now I'm leading Fabric Realtime Intelligence. Super excited to be here today and speak with you about this product. And also, as part of my portfolio, is the Azure Messaging Stack, Azure Data Explorer, Azure Maps, and also a new graph database that we are working on. So that's a secret that we'll soon share with the audience.
That is great. And talking about real-time intelligence, this technology has evolved so much in the past few years. I mean, the whole Microsoft Fabric is a new technology, but it's kind of umbrella on some of the older technologies such as Azure Synapse, Power BI, Azure Data Factory. Real-time intelligence, however, is an area that massively improved in the last few, let's say, months and couple of years and things like that compared to what we had. Um, what what kind of what was the reason to lead this product to grow so massively? Like, do you see a lot of demand for real-time analytics in your customer area?
So, on the joke side, I rejoined Microsoft 2 years ago, so somebody needed to give me a role. No, but seriously, before I took this role, I want to make sure that there's a real demand. So, yes, there's a lot of demand from customers, and we can talk more about customers soon and like how it's shaping up since we launched the product in preview uh, less than a year ago, and it's GA in the last 5 months. But we're seeing a lot of demand from customers, and again, many customers were in this journey of like collecting, analyzing the data, and generating insights. But in the last few years, there is explosion of data in real time, also high granularity data, like all the data that you collect and the system gets from the business applications, IoT devices, social media, and those accelerations in AI, machine learning, set higher expectations for our users. And those machine learnings and the LLM models also generate a lot of data. So all this explosion of data and higher expectations from the users really create this high demand to really have a proper solution to work on this data, generate insights, and act quickly on this data.
That is great. Thank you for explaining that. One of the things that when I talk with a lot of users and customers about real time is that it's not something that we have to say a specific industry only needs it. In every industry, what I found, there is situations that a need for real time might happen. Even in retail scenario that we think all of the things are processed over time, like ETL overnight, but what if a customer walks in the middle of the aisles in a retail store and finds that something is missing? So we can replace that human interaction with a real-time process that finds out something is missing before the customer comes and see that. So this is really good to see that this technology helps people with that. Now, with this being in Microsoft Fabric and combining with the rest of the technologies, do you see this becoming, like in the future, do you see this becoming only, let's say, plausible in a certain SKUs in capacities like FSKUs? Like, is it performing pretty much the same in F2 compared to F64? Or what is your,
Yeah,
let's say, um, feedback from the customers? What is the things that normally drives the best outcome for them?
yeah, and as I mentioned, Reza, like we see it across all verticals of the industry. Many would think, oh, it's only manufacturing. I need to have like a latency of a few seconds or milliseconds. And I spoke with customers, said, no, real time for me is even 15 minutes. So real time is a very broad term. It could be between seconds to minutes, but it's about the notion that I
Mhm.
want to be proactive about the data. If something happens, I want to be able to react to it fast and think about predicting stuff. And there's the mentioned retail, but there's relevant to all verticals of the industry, also aviation, traditional manufacturing, automotive, but also stuff like logistics, manufacturing, retail, insurances, services, and others. We see a lot of customers that use real-time intelligence there. And what we're trying to do with real-time intelligence is really the democratization of this kind of data and ability to business users and business operators to act on this data. So the same way of transformation that Power BI did, and you were a great part of it, and thank you, Reza, for for driving it, is that now every
You?
organization that is data driven and want to be data driven, any user in the organization can access this data, get the insights out of this data, and be more educated about the business. And the same thing we want to do with real-time intelligence, that want to enable users to be able to access the streaming data, to find this high granularity data, to find the insights, and automate the actions behind this data. And we are seeing this from large organizations that use F1024 to small organizations that
Mhm.
use F2 or F16. It depends on the use case. And we have like small departments. Again, you're from New Zealand, and one of our first early adopters is One and Z. I hope that you're a happy customer of them, and they
Yes.
and they actually in their call center, their analysts there wanted to improve the customer satisfaction, and in a matter of a few weeks they deployed this solution to production, and they're using a smaller SKU. But there's like larger organizations that automated the full kind of business organization of like Fortune 100 companies. Those will use a higher SKU. So it's all depends on the scenario and how much of usage there, but it works well also on the lower SKU. So you don't need to invest a lot into it, which is very different what people think before that. That hey, if I'm going to real time, I'm going to spend a lot of money on it. So that's really not the case, and that's new in Fabric Real Time Intelligence.
That is correct. Yeah. And thank you for mentioning that as well. And yes, yeah, depending on like how many events you have, how many data is processing, a lot of those factors. So you could even have real-time streaming on F2, as you mentioned. Fantastic. Thank you for mentioning that. The other thing which I like also for audience to know is that we had previously, because I get sometimes this question that like Power BI in the past, we had Power BI real-time streaming, like streaming data sets. What is the difference of that with this? And I always use this example that, well, real-time streaming data set was good if you want to present something, like show in a dashboard that what is happening. But if you want to do an action based on that, like you want to pass that data to a database, based on that run a machine learning process, do some predictive analytics, so that based on that you can do that action, like that retail store scenario that I mentioned. For example, find out that something is missing, go and replace it. That integration with other things is what real-time intelligence in Microsoft Fabric brings into place with all the components of it, the event stream and everything else. So thank you for that. What are the most interesting updates that we have to be looking for in the announced in the FabCon a few weeks ago?
Yeah, so a few of the exciting announcement that was announced at FabCon and will be announced soon also at Build, something that we call a digital twin builder. So that's a new
Yes.
addition to the Fabric Real-Time Intelligence family, and it's really augments the solution. So you can think of digital twin builder is your ability to map your physical world to the digital. So a good example that we like to use, you have a turbine, a physical turbine, and the turbine is consists of multiple parts, and each part operates differently. It has different maintenance. It has different signals that it generates. But once it all comes to your system, then how do you know that this error code, what it actually means, and how you know when you need to do a maintenance? So the ability to do this mapping between the physical to the digital, and you can also map with that not only physical objects, but also entities in your organization and processes. It allows you really to be more insightful and really to uh, automate your business operations of your organization. So that's something that was kind of sneak previewed at FabCon and will be officially announced at Build in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that was really interesting things for me when I watched it. When I shared it on LinkedIn, we got a lot of good feedback. People was all like, "Wow, this is such an amazing thing." The only thing that I think needs to be improved on that is the name. Digital Twin Builder is like so complicated name. Probably something like a visual map or something like that. Because at first when I heard that, I was, "Wow, what is Digital Twin Builder?" But such a great feature because you can now visualize that part, the physical part, in a digital system, which is really, really amazing. So, what do you see would become the roadmap of this product in the future? Like now that you have been working with it for some time, you have good customers base with it. What do you see in the future?
Yeah, so few things to mention about customer base is that we are seeing a lot of uptick with Fabric All Up and specifically with real-time intelligence. Uh, as shared publicly, it has more than 9,000 customers already using it, and it's only been GA for a few months. So that shows the demand and also the applicability of it across different verticals of the industry. And because of that, of this high demand, we're getting a lot of feature requests, which is great. And the area where we are investing a lot, which is one can say obviously is AI, but AI
Mhm.
in the space of real-time intelligence is really crucial. So when we think about AI, there are kind of three things when we speak about AI. One of the things around AI is making the experience easy to work with in a natural language. So all the Copilot experiences where you want to interact with your data, you want to do analytic scenarios. So that's an area that we invested, and you can use natural language to query and kind of find insights behind your data. But there are other two pillars that are super important where we use AI. One is to really find insights behind your data. So when we speak about streaming and high granularity data, the amounts of data that we're speaking here are very big. And there's a lot of dimension. And those dimensions are much bigger than the typical analytical models that you would use. And we as humans, it's
Correct.
hard for us to find those insights. There's a lot of dimension, and usually we as humans try to simplify the problem, but then we miss the granularity. And that's where AI comes to play. So functionality like what we call unknown unknowns or anomaly detection, that's where we use the power of the machine learning to find insights around the data. So the users can figure
Mhm.
out like, hey, is it useful for me? And if it's useful, what I do about it. So that's kind of an important area. We're seeing a lot of excitement from customers, and it's currently in private preview. But that's something that's going to invest even more from our side because it really allows users to unlock the power behind all this data that they're collecting. So that's kind of one area. And another area where we're investing a lot is operational agents. And that's a novelty that we introduce in Fabric Real-Time Intelligence. And you can think of operational agent as a virtual team member of your team. And this team member, although it's virtual, it can monitor the system. It can analyze the signals that are coming and come up with suggestions. Like you will provide instructions to this operation model as you would onboard a new team member on your team. And you will tell them like what are the goals, what you would like them to monitor. And it will start working 24 by 7 behind the scenes and will monitor the signals that are coming and will say, hey, I found this type of pattern information, they want to take an action, and if it's within its rule set, it will take that the action itself, and it will continue to learn more. And that's really how you kind of bring the power of data and AI together to the business operation space. So that's something that we're really excited about, and there is a lot of investments going in this area.
That is amazing. That is amazing to see that how this product is shaping better and better day by day. And of course, customers would love it as well. I had a chat in FabCon with few customers, different industries, but for example, one of them was aviation, and we talked about so much potential scenarios that they can use this real-time intelligence for. And the thing is that a lot of customers don't even know that this technology exists in their Fabric licensing. Like they are using Power BI Premium licensing, capacity-based licensing, and now they are kind of like switched to Fabric. And like they know about Lakehouse, they know about Warehouse, they know about Direct Lake, but they are missing the whole understanding of real-time streaming technology, the KQL, Event House, Event Stream, all of those features. So when we presented about these features, it was really well received and like a light bulb moment for a lot of people that how this can help them, like thinking about scenarios that they can use this. Definitely useful. So, what are the, let's say, what are the best ways for people to reach out to you and the team and give you some suggestions about what features they are looking for in the product?
Yeah, so I'm sure that my LinkedIn profile will appear somewhere here on the screen.
Yep, we will
Let's go
definitely
it
put
now.
that down in the description.
But so happy to hear your feedback. We always also listening to Reddit, so there is a channel for real-time intelligence. So if there are any feedback, please let us know. And there is programs that where you file a support ticket or give us feedback directly. So we love to hear your feedback. Again, we operate as a startup, although we're part of Microsoft, but we run fast and we appreciate your feedback. So if there's things that doesn't work for you, or you have great ideas, or you have scenarios that we didn't think about it, would love to hear your thoughts and how it works for you, and we would like to make the product work for you. So yeah, we are waiting for your feedback.
That sounds great. And of course, the Ideas website as well. We'll put the link to that down in the description. This is a place that you guys can go and put any ideas at. As Itzhak mentioned, they are enterprise like in Microsoft, but they are acting like a startup. The pace of process is like so fast. You are asking for a feature, this will get added to the pipeline, it will get released very fast. Like all of these updates we are hearing pretty much every week in Microsoft Fabric blog are an evidence of that. Fantastic. Thank you. It's like, is there anything else that you would like to talk about that I did not mention here?
Yeah, one thing to kind of to echo, so ideas at fabric.com, it's a site where we look daily and weekly. So if there are new ideas, please let us know. And that's something that we, as Reza said, we are looking at weekly on a weekly basis. And just to iterate, it's relevant to all verticals of the industry, as you were saying. Like it doesn't matter if it's aviation, logistics, retail, other segments. Everyone has data that comes in real time, or you need to act in a timely manner. And when it's needed, we're here for you. So yeah, and also maybe another thing to mention is the signals that we're getting not only from customers but also from analysts, large analyst firms. We're seeing a lot of and more change to the space of streaming data and real-time data, and we're hearing the same from the customers. So yeah, thank you for having me here, Reza, and looking forward to speaking to you again.
Thank you. Thank you. Really appreciate the time you provided. And also, we really appreciate all the work you and the team are making, which makes a really big difference in people's lives and businesses all around the world. Thank you, everyone, for watching this video. Until the next video, see you again.
Bye
Bye.
bye.